There is this 1 second. Just finalising some details. I think that's right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are back on the Red Arrows Racing channel on YouTube. It's been a couple of seasons since we've had a video live on this channel, but we are back and racing. It is a one-off, I think. It is your host Liam back in the commentary box this week. We do have 17 drivers on the grid tonight, a couple of late dropouts, notably the co-owner Liam Super Striker, you'll commonly have known him as, missing out due to work issues. He was possibly one of the pole sitters for this race, just watching his teammate Horatio dip his tyres into the gravel there. Having a look up and down the grid, there will be some familiar faces, some old, some new, but currently we have the Ferrari of Harry up in P1. I believe the last time that Harry will have raced this track, when we were using the channel, Harry just sticking it a couple of tenths quicker there, 7 tenths quicker than Coops in P2. An astounding time, but as we say, the last time I believe maybe Harry will have been on this track with the channel live would have been that Division 2 race towards the end of the season in Imola, the infamous race. The collision between him and Joshy Wilco cost arguably one of them the title. Controversy, hopefully there is less of that this week. We've got Dan Steele, I'm not too sure, I'm guessing that is Steely attempting the first challenge. However, Calgon is at the back. Let's have a look where. I don't even think we have. No, Steely's not even in the lobby. Dan, are you? I don't know if I've just been blind here. Can't see you. It is, yeah. Do you need an invite, Dan? Oh no, there we go. Just popped on there. Ross Northover as well in the Williams. A couple of new faces, almost at full grid, ladies and gentlemen. 18 and counting. We do only have 4.5 minutes, or just over 4.5 minutes left in the session. The predictions did have Mark Bowe in the Aston Martin taking pole so far. Let's have a ride on board with him as he starts his fast lap now. Hopefully that Mercedes, sorry, isn't going to prove too much of an issue now. Right, very nice, and obviously with the new Fanatec system wheel, there's the Mercedes letting him through. Allows Mark to pursue that P1. I say his time trials were a good couple of tenths ahead of those of Harry, who is actually in P1 at the moment. So Bowe with a purple sector 2. I wonder if he's kept it. Purple sector 1, sorry, it was. Now in sector 2, Bowe at the top of the hill here is where sector 2 ends. Is it going to be purple for Mark? It is purple. That P1 spot of Harry looking under threat at the moment. Someone who would possibly consider himself out of his depth up there. Possibly a case of vertigo for the Ferrari driver. But here comes Bowe now. RAR Round the pull-up corner, up the straight. Is it going to be P1 for Bowe? It is not. He is a tenth. And just over a tenth and a half slower than Harry. I don't know if Bowe's going to have enough time. 3 minutes now to get round and go again. It's going to be tight. He's going to have to be pushing. Aston Martin possibly take a few track limits in order to get back into the pits in time. Harry, not out yet. Does he need to? Coops now. He's out on track. Let's see what he can do for himself as a Mercedes as well. Who's the Mercedes? It is Percival. He's just starting his lap, so we'll follow. There's a Red Bull as well. Who's the Red Bull? Is it full sender? He's on an outlap. So he's still to do. Aston Martin, that is Bo. So it is going to be Percival, Coops, and Teabag. Percival, Coops, Teabag. That's the first three who will be across the line. Let's have a look. Always grinding, retiring from the session. Down in P17. Is that a DNF? I think he's just in the pit lane there. Possibly joined too late. Percival now in sector 2. Is he going to make an improvement on his 1:16.8? He is a good half a second. It's going to only put him up to roughly P8, P7 if he could improve by another tenth or two in sector 3. Oh, but he's actually invalidated. We've got an invalidation from the Mercedes driver. Is he going to be able to recharge that battery and go again? I think he's so far on towards the end of the lap now. He's just going to have to go again with barely any battery. Very unlucky for Percival, but now comes Coops. He's currently in P4 now. Is he going to be able to knock Harry off the top? He is about half a second clear. He's going to have to get around 2-3 more tenths in this last couple of corners. Is it going to be good enough? It isn't. He is... Oh, that is so close. He is only about 37 thousandths of a second behind Harry. But we'll try not fall down. Who is next across the grid? San, he's on the outlap. It is going to be full send Dave now. He's almost 1.2 seconds ahead. That's going to put him at 1:15. Maybe a P4. Just 1:15.7. It's a P7 for full send Dave. Who's the next car round? Is it the Haas? It's Lil Majin starting his. So we're going to have the Alpha Tauri now. Murph, he's on an outlap. Andy's on an outlap. So is RVD. Is there anyone actually on a fast lap? Brewdog. Percival's going to be coming back around and setting his time. Brewdog on the out. So it's going to go Percival and then one of the two McLarens. See where Percival this lap puts him with. He's actually... No, he's not gone again. Very strange. So it's Horatio on the outlap. San's invalidated. He's going to have to go again. There's a Ferrari. Watch out for him. See if he improves. Fulson Dave. He's going to be the next one through. Fulson Dave. And Lil Majin. See where they are now. Bo's finished in P3. San in P5. Percival in P11. See if a couple of people can jiggle themselves around the grid here. Dave up the full straight. That's an invalidation. I'm not sure if I've missed that. That might have been a couple of corners early. Little Majin, he's going to go and set a faster time instead. A 1:15.9. Still not good enough to move him up the grid. Harry, he stays where he is. We've got the Alpha Tauri. Is it Callum coming around? No, it's his teammate. Murph, he's only good enough to stay P4. Let's see where Callum manages to put this from P16. A late push. Where is it going to put him? P9. Knocked a couple of other drivers down now. It's just going to be Brewdog. He's in the pits. He's not going to improve. So the only driver on track is Horatio. He is a 10th up on his time, which is not good enough to move him anywhere. The McLaren now almost very lucky not to invalidate. Up this last straight now. What's it going to be for Horatio? Not good enough. Not good enough to take P5. So there we have it. The standings so far for this Imola race. Possibly the least favourite Italy track. A lot of people do tend to prefer Monza, but there we do have it. Harry leading the way in the Ferrari, who is... I mean, we were just trying to do some calculations before the race. Bo does have a very commanding lead. If Bo was to take a win here, it would definitely put one hand on the Drivers' Championship for the Aston Martin driver. Harry, I say, with Striker not racing tonight, sitting on the gate instead. Harry does have that chance to put a little bit more pressure on Bo with this qualifying. It's going to look like it's a tasty race, but Harry in P1, Coops, Bo, Murph, San in the top 5, Horatio, Fulson, Dave, Magin, Calgon, Teabag, RBD, Brewdog, Percival, Pluggy is one of the new names. I'll have to figure out which one that is in the Discord. I do believe it is a bit bad as I'm the owner, but I do believe... Oh, it's wet. Oh, it's very wet. Oh, this is going to be interesting. In fact, I think we've got... Let's have a look. Let's have a look, let's have a look. I'm sure we need to... Do we need to quit? I don't know. I don't think we do. Possibly not, with the length of time that it's been. People obviously changing the tyre pressures, maybe changing something for the wet race. Pinto in the chat, welcome back, boy. It's never wet. Well, we've got a race on our hands tonight here, EP. It's a wet one round Imola. Welcome to the 3 people in the chat. Welcome, make yourselves known, drop a like, drop a follow. If you can see the comment from EP as well, give him a follow. He is our full-time commentator. Obviously it's nice to see him in the chat, but for personal reasons he couldn't attend this week, so I decided to take up the helm that once was before. And we do have a lot of... It's still waiting for players, so this guy, here we go. Now, there we go, it is. Formation lap. So I don't believe we do need to change. There's no people doing effing. It's always good. It means that there's no one allowed or able to change setups for the wet race. But intermediate seem to be the tyre of choice for the grid. No one's dared to go on the wets. It doesn't actually look that wet, so no, the wets would definitely be a gamble too far. And we have the one stop roughly around 16 to 24. People want to go for the 2 stop. I don't really think it's worth it. I will have to drop a side comment. There is a 2-player career going on between me and Harry, and we are quite impressive in the wet. I wonder if Harry can transfer this pace over from a 2-player career to an online league race, and I say put further pressure on that Aston Martin 2 cars back. We do have a league debutant, I believe Coops does comes for OMR on a Sunday, possibly his first race in the league. Great impression so far, taking the other spot on the front row next to Harry. Bo and Murph in 3 and 4. San and Horatio, the OGs, we shall name them as they are formerly from OG, in 5 and 6. Fulson, Dave, 7. Magin, say Pluggy, that's where we've got a couple of new guys at the back. Pluggy, Ross, Northover. Pluggy isn't actually... doesn't have a car, I'm not too sure what's gone on there. Possibly kicked out the session. Ross, Northover. FRL Andy always grinding in 17. Steely in 18. It is going to be very interesting. We will, I kind of do want to watch the back of the grid. But we will stick with the pole sitter. So we wait for the Alpine of Steely to pull up to the back of the grid. I think that should be everyone set now. as we wait for the 5 red lights to get us underway for round 9 of Red Arrows Racing. Imola, moist conditions. I beg you, this is not a restart. As we wait, I don't know if it's got something to do with the car of Pluggy. Yeah, I don't know who Freaky Football is. Freaky Football, are you a driver? Are you a spectator? I think we're going to have to see a lobby restart. This is really unfortunate. Ah, Freak Football, RVD. Right, lovely. Okay. I think we'll just have to go into the Discord and possibly... what I will do quickly is this may involve other members. I will just go and confer.
Big Pluggy. Apparently.
I think it's all because of Pluggy. Do we need to do a new lobby?
Who is this Pluggy? Why? What's he done?
I don't know. He's AI.
Proper one, isn't he?
He's in the Red Bull P14.
Yeah, go see the left session.
Yeah. The only, I mean, proof of setups might have to be a thing here, because you're going to have to set it to wet. Is it wet? Is it wet the whole? Is it wet the whole race?
All race is wet.
Right. That's fine then. That's fine. That's not a problem. Okay. Cool. Right. I'll go back into my own pie. Yeah. No worries.
Pluggy's got an X. Pluggy. Hold on.
Yeah, Bo's X now, so San.
Who's this Pluggy?
There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be a lobby reset. That's so weird how it's put it on this camera. Right, what we will do, just so we don't keep you guys bored, we will just pause this broadcast. We will be back momentarily, so do bear with us. You know, give this as a chance to go and get a break, have a joint, a cigarette, a piss, a shit, whatever tickles the fancy. Just before we do pause the broadcast, late news from the paddock. We do have the co-owner in the house, Liam, Super Striker, possibly joining from the back, as we said. Yeah, I had a lot of people in the Discord are just confirming that if there is a little bit of iffiness about whether people... Okay, that's weird. What's just happened there? We obviously, if there is a bit of sus around the setups, we will take proof from streams and stuff. So anybody just joining now, we will get them to do that. So just bear with me 2 seconds. I will be back. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Let's not leave the lobby. We are back. Let's have a look up and down the grid. As you say, we are about to start a late news from the paddock there. The McLaren driver of Super Striker running back to his seat, kicking Coops, the new guy, out of that souped up McLaren. But obviously, with him joining late, he will start at the back of the grid. This is going to be a very interesting start. Now, I actually really do want to look at the back. We're going to have Always Grinding, Steely, and Super Striker all next to each other. All at the back. I think we might have to have a look at them. There we have it. It's wet. Wet, wet, wet. Very moist race. Wonder if the admins have said it. It's going to be hard to judge, obviously, so credit to where credit's due still. If they've said it's intermediates, or if it's somehow gone full wets. 3 people watching. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the race. We'll just wait for these drivers. There shouldn't really be any tinkering. No setups, maybe tyre pressures. As we say, anyone deemed to be playing the system as such and altering the setup, as we thought it was a dry quali. Yeah, for those joining who did watch quali, there is a Red Bull in P2 now instead of a McLaren. The other McLaren is taken back by the co-owner, Super Striker, starting from the rear of the grid. As we say, everyone is still in it. This is Edmonds has done a great job getting the weather correct there. Being enabled down the grid, lots and lots of new faces. So there is going to be contact, I feel, into turn 1. It's a very, very long way. People are going to be burning that ERS. The braking zones are going to be a little all over the place. There's going to be some jostling for positions. We're not going to catch it all. Not verbally, anyway. Let's have a look. This will be really interesting. See how they line up. See if Harry's going to come under any immediate pressure. Let's have a look now. Take time to catch our breaths. Have a vape. And ponder over what can be a great round 9. But who is going to take this race by the scruff of the neck and shake as many points from it as possible? Harry, as you say, looking to close that gap in P3 in the championship, I believe. Turbo Striker down in a very, well, he'll be happy to race. He wasn't down to race this evening, so him getting on the grid is an achievement. Nonetheless, down in P18, he'll be looking for any points for him. It will be a bonus. Hopefully we don't have, this isn't the starting line or camera. I think it may be. just have a look now. Oh, Coops with the disqualification. He's going to start back. Bo's taking a very, very aggressive line. Almost directly into Murph's path. San, let's see from San's point of view. Let's have a look and see from Murph's point of view how this all pans out as we 4-5 red lights away for round 9 of Imola around Red Arrows. Season 8, I believe, and there it is. Harry seems to have got a great start. Murph and Bo going side by side. Little Magin taking Fulton Dave on the start. And we've got Andy and RVD all the way down 6 and 3 positions. A lot of the drivers backing off now. Great caution from a lot of the drivers. Is anyone going to get spun around? It looks to all be good. We've got a AlphaTauri on the side of the grass. It's Murph wiggling that AlphaTauri round. Harry seems to have got a very clean getaway now, almost a second ahead. Little Magin up 2 into P6. We've got Horatio down 1 in 7. Dave down in 9. Dave down. Now Dave's down in 9. Down in P10, getting taken by Super Calgon around the inside. There, taking a little bit wide in this wet conditions now. T-Bag going down the inside of Dave. Dave being very cautious. There comes a Mercedes down the inside. Brewdog thinks better of it there. Williams of Ross Northover and Steely fighting. Super Striker up 4 places. A lot of the Alfa Romeos have lost out hugely there. Riding on board with the co-owner now. Down P14, Horatio up into P6. Little Magin up as well. Super Calgon up into P8. Sands had a bit of an issue there. Super Striker goes on the outside of Ross Northover down the hill into the Pullman corner. Gets the inside line. Is he going to get the yes? Ross Northover succumbs to the position. Harry with the fastest lap of 1:31.336, sorry. But there we have it. 1 full lap of racing. They're all roughly there or thereabouts together. And Harry's just absolutely slapping everyone. Almost 2 seconds ahead in the lead now. Bo's up into we've got the Haas going very wide. AlphaTauri wiggling of Murph again round that same corner he was at the previous lap. Very, very close. Murph and Magin now. Murph's got the outside line. He's going to swoop around. Hopefully there's not going to be any contact between him and the Haas driver now as they go up the hill. ERS is on, but Murph doesn't have enough. Steely has retired from the session, ladies and gentlemen. Where is that? And it's Super Striker around as well. Hopefully that's not contact between the 2 drivers. Cautions in sector 1 and 2. That might be a virtual safety car. Steely has retired from the session. Virtual safety car it is. Dan, if you're still in the chat, let us know what happened there. But Harry 3.5 seconds up the road now. A very, very commanding lead. The only annoying thing from a spectator's point of view is we do not know when the virtual safety car is ending. I think Fulton Dave is... There's 2 DRS trains going on at the moment. Dave is the head of one with Bo as the other. Well, so Coops maybe both. Oh! Murph almost going into the back of the Little Magin there. On the ERS, if they must be a little bit behind on the Delta. There it is, we are going green, we are racing, ladies and gentlemen. Andy and RVD up and down the straight. Andy now coming up to the back of that Mercedes with Brewdog. How does he approach this? Down the inside, thinks better of it. Very, very wet still. Use a lot of the battery there. Murph just dropping down to P6 now. He was P4, 5 on that restart. Horatio has got him on this first lap of the restart. Harry and Bo now just extending their lead. Bo catching Harry. It's going to be a very, very safety fight. Murph just taking that curb a little bit too much now. You can see the Haas of Sean catching these 2 now. What a beautiful camera that is. Horatio getting a much better exit up the hill, putting Murph under pressure now from the Haas. San looking down the inside, thinks better of it. It's been a rather deep send. Callum now, Murph's teammate, also coming onto the back of these now, hoping to help Murph out somehow. We do have Brewdog and Percival, both the Mercedes, quite close behind the Williams of Ross Northover as well. Bo sets the fastest lap now, always grinding. On the back of Full Send Dave, up this straight now. Is it going to be a deployment of ERS? Dave getting a bit of a sketchy exit there. Up the straight they go now, always grinding, looking to make that move, almost touching the wall there as the Red Bull. But that is always grinding up the pit straight into P9. They're still side by side though. Oh, there's a little bit of a push there, always grinding, does give them the space. But now look at this pressure that they're all going to... Oh, and there's a wing! There's a wing gone! Is that Percival? It is Percival, almost damages wing there in the back of the Williams. It is, look how... Oh, it's in the wet as well. It's such bad luck there. Lets his teammate through Brewdog. Oh, and the Brewdog hitting the Brewdog hitting the back of Dave. Always grinding, making that position over Ross Northover as well. There is still a nice little battle behind Little Magin now. Murph getting a much better exit up the hill into the chicane. Murph laying up on the brakes, and there it is, Murph up into P4. Dan Steele, it's just one of those, mate. It's a horrible track, never mind in the wet. 18 people having to start from the back. It's horrible. It's just horrible. I wouldn't like to do it. I mean, this is why I'm where I am. Rather be here. The Alfa Romeos of RVD and Andy fighting for P15 on the back of Teabag. We've got a 3-second penalty there for Ross Northover. He's cutting one of those penultimate corners. Little Magin and Murph just going very, very close down into turn 1. Murph still holding that P4. Very close battle. We've got Percival losing positions. I think he's in the pits. Yeah, getting that wing change. Super Striker will possibly take that position now for P16. Horatio on the back now of Lil Magin. Murph now some way up the road. We've got an Alfa Romeo. Who is that? It's Andy Round in turn 3, I think it is. Yellow. Oh, there's a safety car. No, that's a full course safety car. That commanding lead that Harry had is now once again going to have to be built up over time. Harry looking very good on his ERS. One of the drivers completely abusing it. Brewdog maybe the most, but he's going to gain it all back. I can't see all the comment, Dan, sorry. Some people need to... I can't see it all, sorry. I'll have to go back and watch it. I'll just message you. It'll be easier. But it is not out of typical Arrows fashion. Maybe it's something about starting on the YouTube channel again. Safety car on lap 6 now. Harry on the back of the safety car. So just have to be one full lap of the safety car. We're going to see some drivers pitting. Here we are, Brewdog, he's pitting. Dave also. Dave's got a 5-second speed. David, all the time, every time. 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits. And he gets held up by the Ferrari coming in as well. Andy, he's got 5 seconds as well. That's going to hinder his race. Maybe these drivers decide to pit again, get that 5 seconds removed. But very, very interesting race so far. There are lots of battles developing. There was a very, very tasty battle involving, I believe it's both AlphaTauris, both Hasses with a McLaren in the middle. Very tasty battle for P4. Harry and Bo were just in, well, were in, possibly still in a league of their own. We'll see. So far, 6 laps in, always grinding. My teammate, Mike, making the most gains in that Alpine. Into P9, up 7 positions. the drivers. A couple of positions gained. Ross Northover, Super Striker up 4. Bo's up 1 off the grid. Coops is down 1. Harry, Murph, Horatio, RVD and Brewdog, the only drivers who have retained their position from the starting grid. And we've got Andy retiring from the session. That's on track. I wonder how he's done that. Hopefully that's not another case of Andy being here a couple of seasons ago. Hopefully he's just... I don't think he's lost it. Middle of sector 2. I think the grid's coming up to it now. Hopefully the safety car will be in. There's like, ooh, we've got Bo going very, very close to the side. A black Ferrari there. Cheeky. Playing games. Brewdog training position. I don't know how people overtake people on the safety car. I know life's great mystery, but I think Harry's backing it up, expecting the safety car to come in this lap. There we go. It is. It is in. There's quite a big gap between Harry. A lot of these cars still to come through the chicane. Harry is backing them up though. I won't aim to go early. I think with the wet, does he think about maybe wait until his car is in the most perfect place for a launch down the straight and then go? The safety car is about to enter the pit lane now, so he can go anytime that he wants. I think he will wait till he's got that Ferrari fully turned around up this straight, so he will right and then left and possibly look to go now. He's still waiting, making that Aston wait. Bo isn't warming his tyres up, and there Harry goes. He goes, and we are back racing in Imola. He seems to have caught Bo slipping a little bit. Sleeping, sorry. But Coots is on the back of Murph. We've got Horatio and Sand going side by side down the pit straight. Horatio burning that battery. Sand almost touching the side of that Haas. Going as Horatio's very, very wisely thinks about it. Looks for the cutback. The Haas is outsmarting there. Horatio takes the place back. Sand just overextended his reach a little bit there and succumbs the place back to the McLaren into P6. Horatio goes. Sand down in 7, chasing his teammate in P5. Let's have a look at Always Grinding and Calgon going side by side through the hairpin up the hill now. I think Callum's just got the superior exit there. Callum and Always Grinding both remaining hasty on the battery. Always Grinding just stepping that back end of the Alpine out there now, down the hill into this tricky braking zone, which leads you back up the hill, which the traction is quite tricky. As we can just see Callum stepping that back end of the AlphaTauri out now. Always Grinding is going to be on the back of that AlphaTauri. No moves to be made into the chicane though. Ferrari of Teabag. Super Striker going around the inside of Ross North over there, having a bit of a tricky time through the chicane. Super Striker up 8 places now on the back of the Alpine and AlphaTauri. Now let's have a look at Mark Bow and Harry. How does Bow approach this now? Is he going to be on the battery now? Burning that battery now, 16% less. And Bow stepping that car, that Aston Martin, a little bit too wide on the curb on the grass, causing him a little bit of loss of traction. But Murph so close now to Coops. That Red Bull and that rear diffuser looking very tasty. Teabag taking Ross Northover as well down into turn 2, I believe. Through the hairpin they go, up the hill. Murph still no move to be made. Oh, very close to the back of that Ferrari. Harry getting such a great start in the race. But looking a little bit weary. That Aston Martin is looking to be licking his lips See what he can do. We'll imagine making a move on Coops. Up the, possibly maybe lost the braking zone, down the hill there. Down into P5 he goes now. Horatio is on the back of the said Red Bull now. Always grinding. That's Superstar going past Sean. Let's watch Super Striker now up 10 places, the most position gained so far in the race. On that battery he goes. Ferrari looking to be on the back of T-Bag is the Ferrari, sorry, on the back of Always Grinding now. No, nothing there. Brewdog going wheel to wheel with Ross Northover down into turn 1 now. The Mercedes braking later than the Williams. The Williams looking for the cutback. Can't really see from this camera. He's being pushed wide, and I think because of that, Percival in the Mercedes has jumped both Mercedes have overtaken the Williams, but Percival taking over his teammate as well, coming from P14 in one corner, finds himself 2 places up now. Well, look, Bo very, very close to the back of that Ferrari, but we know Bo isn't going to send it anything stupid. If anything, it's going to be a move into turn 1 of the Harry's got a little bit of loss of traction now. Bo down into the chicane. There it is. The move is being made, sorry. We have a new leader of the race, Mark Bow in the Aston Martin. He's a little bit out of shape. Harry running wide. Caution in 2 and 3. Is that Ross Northover? Oh no, it's Always Grinding. He's off, but not out. He's still moving. And we've got Fulton Dave as well. Is he? I'm sure what we've missed. How he's there now. But Bo looking to extend that gap for the lead. Super Striker 2 tenths behind Super Calgon now. On the battery he is. Using that slipstream. Here he goes. He pulls out, looking to make a move around the outside. Callum thinks comes back across the front of that McLaren. There's no moves to be made there. Tower again just stepping that car out. Liam feinting a move down the inside now into 2 and 3. Then you get the cutback angle down into the hairpin. He's going to pull back to the inside. He does later on the brakes. Is Callum going to see him? Callum does. Down the inside, up the hill now. Callum seems to have got the better traction. Are they going to go side by side through this part of the track now? Are they just wheel banging a little bit? Not too sure. Callum and Liam going side by side through corners in the wet. They shouldn't really be doing. The McLaren and the AlphaTauri having a great battle for P7 now. Liam up the hill. Not on that battery. Callum doing very well to preserve his. Welcome to the 4 people watching. Great racing we have so far. Lap 11 of round 9. Brewdog very close to the back of his teammate. Well, he was. Maybe, I'm not sure how. The time said he was very close when he turned out to be over a second behind. We'll imagine looking to chase Murph. There's going to be no move made down this straight. Horatio, though, looking to make a move past Coop on the straight. T-Bag on San as well, possibly. Keep an eye out on these battles. Let's have a look at T-Bag on San. Horatio, a 10th. Is he going to make the move, Horatio? No, not down into turn 1. San and T-Bag. Not going to be a move made there either. Horatio, though, on the exit of turn 3. A much better exit down the inside before the corner into turn 4. And Horatio now moving that McLaren up into P5. Great work from the McLaren boys so far. Callum still holding that P7 as we say that. He's gone a little bit wide on the hairpin, forcing that McLaren onto the back of that wing. Very, very careful. Oh, and Callum's gone wide. 3 second time penalty for the AlphaTauri. Liam's looking to make a move down the outside. And he does into a very risky corner. I'm not sure if Callum maybe lost the back end a little bit, or if there was a little bit of a push. I'm not too sure. But Callum now down into P8. Super Striker making moves almost onto the back of his teammate now. Is there going to be some team orders, we wonder? Percival and T-Bag. Oh, we've got Percival going very wide on the chicane. Ferrari down into P12. Have a look now. Coops has that McLaren all over the back, and Coops has a very sketchy exit into the pits that he goes. Super Striker now, a bit of free air to chase his teammate. Has Callum though for company. Battles on track, Imagine 9/10. Welcome to the 6 people watching. We appreciate everyone stopping by and watching. The grid is rather spaced out at the moment. Callum is closest to Liam, both supers. Percival to San is fairly close as well. Callum goes deep. I wonder if Callum has both end plates are there, so maybe some light green damage, who knows, but he's dropping back from Liam. Every corner, Liam gaining on his teammate. 13 laps. Liam finds himself in P6 now on the back of his teammate. Horatio, though, is a great warrior on track. He is known to defend the place hard, regardless. Oh no, and there it is. Team orders. Through goes Liam now. 13 places gained on the evening. Released to catch Lil Imagine in the Haas. Doing a great job in P4. Originally in P8. That time penalty may prove costly in the end though. Murph running in some free air in a podium place. Harry now dropped off the back of Bo somewhat. Over a second and a half the gap between him and the Aston Martin. Brewdog on the back of Teabag, Percival on the back of San. Anything to do down into the hairpin now? Nothing there. Both the Mercedes getting a little bit of airtime. The Red Bulls as well, not a great evening for them. 22 positions lost for the pair so far. So a lot of the people, I wonder who hasn't stopped so far. So Super Striker, Percival, Teabag, Brewdog, Coops. So Liam could be in with a great shout of winning the race this evening. Horatio all over the back of Callum now, down the hill into the penultimate 2 corners. So close there. Great driving not to make contact, wants to make sure he gets a good exit from that corner. And Hasty just messes it up. Horatio now into the pits. And Horatio's got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane there. That's going to prove very costly. I almost feel very sorry for the McLaren driver having such a good race. Super Striker now. Coops setting the fastest lap. Almost fresh intermediate, so 126 flat almost. Coops just overtaking Horatio as Horatio comes out the pitch now. Liam is all over the back of the Haas now. Great view from inside the halo as they go up the hill towards the chicane. A lot of drivers do have traction issues coming out of the corner. None for the pair there. Into the chicane now. Liam getting a really good exit from that. Lil Imagine doing really well to hold him back. Both drivers very depleted on the battery. The penultimate 2 corners now down this straight. Well, let's see what kind of exit these 2 drivers get. Liam seems to... It doesn't really matter. In the pits goes Lil Imagine. Slows down enough. Harry in the pits as well. The fresh intermediate's on. Is that going to cause a reaction from the Aston Martin driver? Very interesting to see where it brings Harry out. A lot of drivers are coming into the pits now. comes out into P8, 2 places behind his fellow compatriot. What is the gap? So he is 29 seconds to the leader. Let's see, is he making? He's taking it by 10 to 2. Just much better exit down, 29 seconds now. I'm sure this is going to bring a response from a couple of leaders. Bo and Murph. Liam's all over the back of Murph as it stands. Bo not going into the pits just yet. What about Murph or Liam? 2 friends following each other into pits. Oh, there's going to be a bit of contact, is it? Oh, is that possible brotherly love? Liam maybe pushes Murph into the pits, exceeding the penalty, the limiter. And is that Callum going to be held a little bit by his teammates? Hopefully the Alpha Tower is not double stacking too much. Harry now into P5, 27 seconds. The gap. So Horatio and Liam all over the back of each other. Yeah, I think there maybe was a little bit of a contact between the 2 drivers. Maybe. Or hopefully Murph doesn't have to pit again. Because I'm sure if he doesn't pit again, he will be able to get that reviewed and taken off. We hope. So Bo, the only driver still out. The leader. 25 seconds now. Is Bo going to pit? No pit from Bo. Percival and Teabag fighting for P2 now, down into the pull corner. Teabag goes round the outside. Percival can't do anything. Teabag up into P2 now. How many laps have these done? 12 laps, 17 laps, 13 laps. He's like, I can't imagine anyone from 4th upwards staying out on these tyres. Everyone must have to pit, surely. 24 seconds now, the gap. Bo, he is going to be a lot faster for a couple of laps at the end, but it is just how long does he go. Slide on board with him and see. See if he pits. One really that close. Harry is very close to Blue Dog Oil. Much better. Look, those fresh tyres there proving superior. Harry gets a much better exit up the hill. Harry with the bit between his teeth now on the back of the other Mercedes of Percival. Much fresher tyres, 11 laps fresher. Harry, our pole sitter, chasing down the Aston Martin. Is he going to come in the pits? No, he does not. Bo still not pitting. This is going to be music to Harry's ears. Just hoping that he can clear. 22 seconds now. Is the gap for Harry to the leader? All the cars ahead. Pitting, Harry must make this move. Personal on the battery. But here comes Harry, making his move nice and early, round the outside, before the braking zone. The move is made. Murphy the fastest lap at 125, flat almost. Said those fresher tyres are really coming into their own now. Harry on the back of his teammate. His teammate not in the party chat. He's looking rather slow. Is his teammate going to let him go? Is Harry going to send it down the inside? It wasn't really a send there. I think his teammate did let him through there. And great team orders. Harry now onto the back of Bo. Chasing down that Aston Martin. 22 seconds is the gap. Lane does go into the pits. It's got, is he coming in this lap? It's under 22 seconds the delta. I wonder if it's going to go dry. Maybe Bo's hoping for some dry weather. Hoping he can get on those slicks at the end and not have to pit again for fresh intermediates. All over the back of Sam. He's quite close to Poops now. Dipping those tyres on the wet grass. You do not want to be doing that now. AlphaTauri and Haas going wheel to wheel. The Mercedes. Oh, the ones have gone in the pit is why. Callum on that battery now, all over the back of Sam. Shoes go down the inside nice and early, gets that move made on the Haas. Callum now up into P10 for AlphaTauri. The last point scoring position with 12 laps remaining. Now Striker all over the back of his compadre Paddy Murph. Murph doing great in P5. A great sight to see. Part of league racing is, I'm sure Murph won't mind, is people who aren't the fastest, people who stick with it. You know, people always say just stick with it and you'll get faster. Murph is probably a prime example of that. The driver who will probably admit he was at the back of the grid most weeks, and now look at the ability of this AlphaTauri driver holding up one of the Division 1 title contenders of Super Striker, his friend and co-owner, in this horrible weather. Bo is in the pits, so we've got Bo in the pits now. I think Harry's going to come out miles ahead of him. A good 8-9 seconds, I would say. Harry down the road now. Teabag, is he going to get out in her? Yes, he is. Over the Aston Martin, he's going to be able to hold Bo up now. Bo out the pits. Liam down the inside of Murph. Oh my God! What's happened there? I have no idea what's just happened there. I'm sure someone should have died. And we've got Coops with the retirement in the pits. I am utterly, yeah, Pinto, thank you. I am baffled as to what happened there. But we've got a three-way battle now. Bo on the back of Murph on those fresh intermediates, chasing the leader Harry down. Bo a much better exit up the hill. Bo's taken that P4 back now. Always grinding 3-second time penalty. Liam now has to deal with Bo behind him. 4 lap pressure tyres. Liam up 15 places. See how these drivers cope now. Conditions don't seem to be getting any better. If anything, it is a little bit worse. It's definitely not wet. So we've got Teabag. Teabag's in the pit. Sorry, I thought, shit myself. But now, here we have it. 10 laps remaining. Liam chasing down Harry. They have a very similar tyre length life. Can Striker take a second? He needs to do about a second a lap. Bo in P3 behind Liam. Maybe left himself too much to do. He's going to have to do a second a lap, maybe more, in order to catch Harry. Harry's going to have to slip up somewhere for these two to benefit behind. San very close behind Horatio for P7. I think we saw one of the AlphaTauris just going over the curve a little bit funny there. San just dropping back off Horatio now, coming up the hill. Horatio getting a little bit of a better exit. Bo 6 tenths, 5 tenths, half tenths, sorry, behind the McLaren driver of Liam RVD with another 3-second time penalty now. 3.5 tenths. Is Bo going to try and make this move now? Liam isn't the best on the RS. Bo now down the outside, up the straight. It is a very, very long straight, and Imola. Liam's not using his. Bo is trying to use this to dispatch of Liam nice and early and get those fresh tyres really fired up and get that hunt on for P1 of Harry. Having said that, Bo, with that 3-second time penalty, it is going to be very severe for him if he doesn't manage to drop Liam. 4 lap fresher intermediates. Bo now, 9 laps to go. Needs to chase Harry down. It would be so much more dramatic if Bo didn't have a penalty. I think Harry should just get a 3-second time penalty just to make it interesting. Because Bo actually needs 11 seconds in 8-9 laps, and it's a little bit less realistic than a second a lap. Horatio and San making moves past each other. San getting the position. Horatio looking to make a move. No. Always grinding, and Ross Northover. Always grinding, going very, very wide there. The Williams keeping that position or taking it back. Bo with the fastest lap of 1:24.8. That's 2 tenths faster than the fastest lap previous. Here comes Always Grinding. No. For Williams, a better exit. Still into the chicane. No moves to be made. Teabag in P10 in the Ferrari, looking to get some more points for his teammate in his first race as a Ferrari driver, I do believe. Percival holding them off in P9. No moves into turn 1 to be made there. Always grinding him. Ross Northover, always grinding, now coming down the straight, carrying some impressive NASCAR speed. No move, backed out of it. Thought wiser. The Williams driver looking out of shape there. Alpine looking to make a move. Williams sitting in the middle of the track, very defensive line. Mike biding his time now. Does he make a move down to the inside of the hairpin? No, he doesn't. He thinks better of it. Touches the curve there, and able to get on the power nice and early, but we do have Teabag all over the back of Percival as well. Horatio with a 3-second time penalty. That's going to push him back. Here comes Teabag now down the inside into the chicane. Percival, is he gonna? He's gonna fight him. Maybe a little bit of pushing, but they're still arguably right next to each other. Percival, Teabag, Ferrari, Mercedes down into the 2 last corners. Percival going a little bit wide, looking to fend down the inside now. Teabag swooping round the outside. Ferrari up into P9 and an extra couple of points. Horatio in the pits on 9 laps. Not sure quite what's happened to him. Is it a wing? No, he's serving a penalty. Possibly hoping for a safety car. Horatio down at the back of the grid. But Bo now, look at the pace. Something we've not been watching. 3.6 seconds behind Harry. That penalty, we've got 6 laps. You can see him up the road. When do those tyres start to drop off? Harry will know. Harry will want to be keeping him behind until that point. However, that his tyres will be at a worse stage. 3 seconds the gap now between Aston Martin and Ferrari. Harry crosses the line and gives us 6 laps remaining. Bo 3 seconds, 6 seconds behind, we'll say. Harry will have to do a masterclass. They were defending to keep Bo behind here. Very, very interesting battle. A tactical battle, not really one on track, one to do with pit stops. Bo decided to take a much longer stint on those first intermediates. Seems to be working wonders for him. That penalty, as I said, could prove very costly for him though. Callum on the back of the driver who's driven very solidly today. And they'll imagine, see F1 Pinter there in this chat, current win striker 14, Bo 6. Can't see anybody else, if he's got anybody else. Callum half a second out, Bo half a second also behind Harry. Down the pit straight they go now. Bo using that ERS Harry has to deploy some of that to make the defence stick. We'll imagine succumbing the position to Calgon as well. A couple of corners before the last lap. The last corner, sorry. Up the straight they go. Bo and Harry so close. The race for the lead. Harry just needs to perform a Williams-esque Canadian defence strategy and keep that Aston Martin behind him for as long as possible. Bo now looking to make a move. He's got a better exit, decides against it. Harry keeping the position. Bo looking to make a move down the inside. No. Still very close between these two. Harry taking the very wide line. Bo's got a much better exit up the hill now. There it is. Bo's made the position. Harry's gone very, very wide. That has not helped him at all. Bo takes the lead of the race with 5-6 laps to go. Now has to extend by 3 seconds. Is that penalty going to cost him? Can Harry keep that Ferrari behind Mark Bo? Horatio making a move on full send Dave for P14. Horatio freshly pitted to dispatch of that 5-second penalty. Still has a 3 though. Only 5 drivers unpenalised this race. It's a very hard track, especially in the wet. Harry still holding on to the metaphorical DRS of Bo. Hopefully Harry can maintain his concentration and take what would be, I believe, his second Red Arrows race win in Division 1. What a season it would be for the lad. Liam down in P3, or I'll say down, up in P3 with no penalties, racing from the back of the grid. What could have only been if he had taken part in quali, I wonder. Ferrari chasing down Sean now. Yeah, we expect Merce penalty to be removed. I think possibly to be reviewed. He was a little bit iffy. It did look like Super Striker maybe tapped him in the back. Let's have a look. If Teabag decides to make a move past Sean up this straight, he is on the ERS, sorry. So is Sean, he has more of it. Teabag weaving inside out, trying to keep that slipstream. Very dirty air though. No move to be made into turn 1. Decides to think better of it. Down into turn 3. No moves there either. Harry now dropped almost 3 seconds. There it is. Bo's essentially overtaken Harry now for the race lead. Super Striker catching him as well. This could be a last couple of lap battle. P2 and 3. Harry has so much battery though, I don't think it should be too much of an issue unless Harry goes extremely wide somewhere. Harry catching at an incredible rate of knots there, almost 6/10 up that straight. And then lost 3 into turn 1, 2 and 3. Beau maybe teasing with him. Oh, caution set to 1. That's Haas. San, little Imagine. Both seem to be okay. Harry, P2, still just out that 3 seconds. Just over a little over 2 laps left. Harry needs 3/10. Super Striker 2.2 behind Harry. Those fresher tyres for Beau just seem to be proving dividends late on in the race. Lost Northover behind, full send Dave now. Looking to make a move for P13. And regain his place. I believe he got overtaken by Horatio and Fulson Dave shortly, one after another. Let's have a look. Harry now over a second over the gap as we start our penultimate lap. What a race it's been, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully a lot of people decide to watch us back. I know we've not had a great number of viewers, probably less than what the likes of EP would have had. Obviously he's got a little bit more, let's say, exposure. It's not been live, this channel, for a very long time. Obviously, hopefully we're back running as usual, and you can expect the usual high standard of commentary that EP provides on a daily basis. And oh, Super Striker with a 3-second time penalty, possibly just trying to catch a little bit too much gains on Harry ahead, takes that penalty. Murph isn't going to be anywhere near close enough in order for that to affect him. Let's say I don't think the penalty from Murph is going to stand. I think this may be our grid set. There is 6/10 in it though on the last lap. Oh, we've got Horatio going off. Horatio having a bit of an issue and becoming a lapped car, which is very unusual for him. We're now 4 seconds behind Beau. Is there going to be any moves made? Lee 1.3 behind Harry with a penalty though. I think there's not going to be any more grid position changes, not unless Beau makes some form of mistake, but we'll ride on board with him through the chicane, rides those corners perfectly, does careful not to dip those tyres too far over those. Oh, Horatio 10-second cut. Speed in the pit lane. I know, just corner cutting straight up. There we go. As we have Beau up the pit straight, taking home another win, putting one hand on that driver's title for Red Arrows Racing. Harry taking home P2. I'm not sure. It depends if he's going to be happy enough with that or not. A P2 finish from a pole. Would most people be happy with that? I'm not too sure. I don't suppose Murph's penalty is actually going to get reviewed, really, because it doesn't affect his position, hasn't moved him anywhere. Super Striker, great race from him, possibly one of the driver of the day's nominees, surely, from the back of the race. Taking over the last podium spot. Murph in P4 with AlphaTauri. A great finish from them boys. 4 and 5. Murph, the only driver on the grid to retain his starting place. Fun fact. Little Magin in P6 for Haas. Teabag in P7 for Ferrari. Percival in P8. Great race from him in the Mercedes. San in P9. Good race from Sean. The longest standing 2 drivers of the Haas's. Brewdog finishing us off in the points in the McLaren. I always get Mercedes. Paulson Dave in the Red Bull, I believe, was your P11 driver. And what a race. We will carry on once. Yeah, Super Striker with his orange and his big head taking home the driver of the day title. Good race from the boys, says Pinto. There we have it. Paulson Dave in 11, always grinding in P12. Ross Northover, one of the new drivers in P13. RVD in 14. Horatio 15. Actually DNF'd in the hits in the last lap, but it's neither here or there. Coops in P16. DNF. Andy Steely DNFs. And there we have it. The points. I'll just, if anybody wants to look at the, tries to review anything, there's lots of these. But yeah, I hope he's in the chat. Hopefully we're going to be back next week. Back to usual my mind's gone blank. Resume normal service, basically, with our Indian commentator EP. A lot more enthusiasm from himself. Great overlays and stuff. So hopefully we'll be back running as usual with him. If not, you might have to put with myself again. Bo taking home the programming. Bo taking the fastest lap with a 1:24.833 on those fresher tyres. It's taken him 26 points. That is going to be a big point haul for the Aston Martin driver. So another great week of racing. So now I'm going to join the boys in the party. So from me, thank you very much. Thank you for everyone stopping by who watched, who's going to stop by later on and watch. And next week we hope to see some of the same great racing. From me and Red Arrows, bid you good night.